slightly changed since I last recorded. Obviously, transfers happen every day. There are numerous moves going on around the world in terms of football at the minute. We have another 21 days to go until the window shuts. My plan is I was going to do 2 more videos. We're actually going to combine the 2 into one video today. So this will be the final prediction video of this little series. But Friday, so in a couple of days' time, before we start the season on Friday evening, I will give you my a rethought out prediction table. Not a long video, just a short one, just to confirm my predictions, because in the next couple of days there'll be a lot of deals going down, and some teams might move from my prediction league or down, depending on if they sell or buy, and who they sell or buy. So this is my initial predictions, and we'll get a final one on Friday. Even though there'll still be another 2.5 weeks of the window open, I can't predict it after the season's already started. So Friday for the confirmed prediction table. Now I need to make some bracket here and adjust this light, so just bear with me for a moment. What the hell? Oh, fucking wait there. Okay, we're back. So I had Sky Sports News on in the background, and without meaning to, whilst I was trying to adjust the lamp, I changed the channel with my arm and ended up with a workout show with Buddy Kirsty Gallagher and Marvin somebody. So I've had to flick back to Sky Sports. Even funnier is a moment ago I seen Ryan Reynolds talking about Wrexham Football Club and trying to sound like he knows what the hell he's on about. So we're going to need some pens for this video as per usual. Hopefully that's enough pens. I'm going to put them over here because if I put them on the table that can be quite loud. Unless they're written. No, we'll put them over here. Right, so let's write the title of our video as we usually do. In the middle of the page. Let's make sure you can actually see. I may need to zoom in slightly. Let's have a little look. Guys, if you like football videos and you like ASMR, then be sure to go and check out my good friend Kev, or Kevin as he likes to be called, but Kev's channel. The name of which is The Whisper Corner. And Kev got me into actually doing ASMR football cards, stroke stickers. need a couple of pages anyway, let's put it that way. So let's write down some of the teams we'll be covering today. Okay. Ideally, I should have left the title out of the page so we'd have a bit more room. But I think we'll just do 3 on this page and 4 on the next one. That seems like a fair shout. Right, we're going to cover Aston Villa first. Now, Aston Villa had a pretty good season last season. And let's be honest, although they've lost their best player, Jack Grealish, we all know he's gone to Manchester City, 100 million, the highest ever Premier League transfer fee at the minute. If Harry Kane doesn't move, then Grealish will retain that title. Even with Chelsea signing Lukaku, Grealish is the highest fee paid for a Premier League player, or a Premier League deal in general. Let's just highlight this. There we go. So yeah, they've lost Jack Grealish for 100 million, but they've not done too bad with it, with their signings. And if anything, I would argue they are a lot stronger now than last season. So let's have a look. Danny Ings. Now I was one who last season would not have minded Danny Ings coming into Man United as a support striker for the likes of, well, not even support, maybe even a main striker for a season until we get to the end of the season, when we could then look at bringing in a Haaland or a Harry Kane even. But Danny Ings has gone to Aston Villa. I also give it a good shout that I could see him at Man City or Tottenham. If Kane goes to City, I thought Ings would go to Tottenham. If City couldn't have got Kane, which they might not do yet, then Danny Ings was a very much cheaper option, and not a bad option at all for Man City, as he's guaranteed in that team. I reckon get him 25 goals. He's a lot more prolific than Jesus, and would offer slightly less than Kane, but come at a much cheaper rate. But he's gone to Aston Villa for £25 million. That's a good deal for both Villa and Southampton. It's probably Ings' last big move. He's 29. Southampton got 25 million for a player who only had 1 year left on his deal, and Villa got a very good striker. They also brought in Emiliano Buendia. Now this deal seems like it was done months ago. I think it was actually done before the Euros started. As soon as Norwich were promoted, Villa went in and got their man. Don't mind me, I'm just having a glass of water. Yes, Emiliano Buendia, who was potentially the best player in the Championship last season from what I've heard. I didn't watch a great deal of Norwich, but I've heard he was just as good as the previous couple of years. He helped Norwich get back up, then he moved on. He did right by Norwich. They brought in about 38 million, I believe, for Buendia, and Villa were already preparing, in my opinion, for the potential loss of Jack Grealish. They then brought in, I've not worked out to spell his name, that's just a guess, I think it's just one L. But Leon Bailey from Leverkusen, Jamaican lad, could have potentially played for England, but I think he chose. Hang on, bear with me. But he chose to play for Jamaica. I've heard good things about Bailey. Very good attacking wise down. Usually the left wing, I believe. Aston Villa team will be insurmountable. You can't put into words, in my opinion. He's going to bring that winning mentality with him that he had from Man United and Inter. On top of that, they have also brought in the lad from Man United. I haven't got room to write his whole names down. Yesterday, Axel Tuanzebe, the Man United centre-back, he didn't get a lot of time last season, and with United now signing Rafael Varane, Axel Tuanzebe needed game time. Newcastle were linked with him, but he has gone to Aston Villa on loan. He has been at Villa before. He helped them get promotion from the Championship to the Premier League under Dean Smith. He returns to Villa to try and get some more Premier League minutes under his belt with the likes of Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings, and now Axel Tuanzebe. They have a very good young centre-back selection. The one player who obviously won't be in this team is Jack Grealish. He'll go on to bigger and better things, and I don't see any reason why any Villa fan would begrudge him of that chance. Okay, we're going to write my prediction for Villa in orange, where I think Villa will finish. I was debating this for a little while with myself, and I ended up going with an 8th place finish for Aston Villa. That is what I settled on, which will be an improvement for them and definitely push them up the table. I think last season they finished outside the top 10. I could be wrong, but I think 8th place is a very good position for them this season. Let's move on to Liverpool. Liverpool, the former Premier League champions from 2 seasons ago. Liverpool, who have, off the top of my head, I was meant to underline words, my bad. Liverpool, who, off the top of my head, have only made one signing. Let me just check that is correct. There may not be much to talk about with Liverpool. We've got the list in here on my phone of all transfers. Okay, here we go. Right, so, yep, we've got one transfer to put in for Liverpool so far. Now, Klopp has said Liverpool will be looking to bring in potentially more players. I think that is on the back of seeing Chelsea signing Lukaku, Grealish going to Man City, United getting Varane and Sancho, Tottenham making deals. Liverpool are going to have to, I think, in my opinion, make a deal or two and spend some money. You can't win the league and then not spend anything for 2 years. So Canate cost Liverpool, I think it was fairly cheap. Let's have a look. Being relatively cheap. He came in from RB Leipzig for £36 million. He will obviously partner Van Dijk more times than not, I reckon, especially a lot more than Joel Matip. Liverpool have got a bit desperate on their transfer listing. They've actually put down that they've brought in Harvey Elliott from the under-23s. Apologies for my phone going off just now. They've sold Harry Wilson to Fulham for £12.6 million. Actually, let's go back to Villa and see who else they've sold other than Grealish. My bad, I've got to check this a moment ago. So Aston Villa. Samata has gone to Fenerbahce for £5.4 million. Tom Heaton went back to Man United on a free, where he started at Antwerp. El Mohammadi has been released, as has Neil Taylor. I should have done that when we covered Villa a moment ago. So Liverpool, yeah, they have brought in Canate. They have sold Harry Wilson for 12.6 million. A 1 year to Union Berlin for far just short of 6 million. Grujic has gone on loan again to Porto. I thought he'd gone on permanent. Kabak, he ended his loan, but I think that for getting Canate, I honestly think that the biggest piece of business that happened to Liverpool, and it's a negative in my opinion, is Ginny Wine. I should have wrote Ginny, should I bloody hell? Wijnaldum leaving Liverpool. Now, looking at it through Wijnaldum's eyes, can you honestly blame him? Okay, you won the Premier League and the Champions League at Liverpool. That was a couple of years ago, the Premier League, a few years ago for the Champions League. This is Wijnaldum, who we've got no else to write down. If Liverpool says just write down who Wijnaldum will be playing with potentially this upcoming season, which has already kicked off, to be fair. So that's just 4 names for you right there. So we have Sergio Ramos, Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, and Messi. Let's not forget Ander Herrera and Idris Gueye, who obviously that's the reason why Ronaldo went there, not because of Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar or Ramos. So yeah, you can't blame Ronaldo for leaving, but that leaves Liverpool in a bit of a sticky situation. Last season, Thiago Alcantara wasn't at his best, in my opinion. He looks like a bit of a flop. They obviously it was out. They had no Van Dijk or who else was missing? Van Dijk and Gomez for most of the season. Robertson is now injured and will be out for a few weeks, I think. Van Dijk and Gomez are both back, so the defence will be a lot stronger. Going forward, Mane, Firmino, Salah, they'll get goals, but I don't think we've seen the best of them since since their Premier League winning season and the season before when they nearly won the league. So last season was a poor one for the three of them to get as a combined unit. They brought in Jota, who did very well when he was given chances. I think they definitely need to replace Wijnaldum. I mean, Oxlade-Chamberlain didn't find his form again last season. The rest of their midfield, Alcantara, Jordan Henderson was out injured for quite a while. The young lad Curtis Jones looks good, but I think he might have picked up an injury last season because I don't think he played for a while towards the end. Shaqiri apparently can leave for 12 million. Origi is still there. Surely they can get a deal done for him and move him on. Trent has just signed a new deal, as has Alisson and a couple of other players. But my prediction anyway for Liverpool, without signing any big names or anyone who's going to improve their team, half of the position of Villa. So for Liverpool, I've gone with 4th place finish. My reasoning is it doesn't matter if you strengthen your defence, but yeah, if you get players back and you bring in Canate, the fact of the matter is other teams have also strengthened. Man United brought in Varane and Sancho, making our attack stronger and our defence stronger, both of which were pretty good anyway last season. Chelsea have brought in Lukaku, who is going to make them bloody brilliant, as well as who's already good at the back. They've brought in, Man City have brought in Grealish and won the league last season. They could also bring in Harry Kane. So Liverpool for 4th place for me. Next we roll on to Brentford. Now, I wanted Brentford to get promotion for about the last 3 seasons. They was close so many times, including the playoff final that they lost to Fulham, and I was packing to go on holiday at the time when that final was on the evening, and I was watching and hoping Brentford fantasy football team. If you want to join that league, I'll try and remember to put a link in the description. If I don't remember, ask me in the comments. So Ivan Toney, we have Embuemo, who is also an attacking player. They've signed Christophe Ager. I think it's Ager. I might be wrong on that. I apologise if I am. Bear with me a second. Let me have a look at the Brentford transfers. I've not kept on top of every single one, unfortunately. Here we go. No, that's Brighton. So Brentford. They have brought in Christophe Ager for 40 million quid. That's a lot of money for Brentford. They've brought in a lad for 9 million from Midtjylland, Onyeka. They brought in a young lad from Chelsea's under-23s, and a lad from Brentford's B team, Bidstrup. So they've not made a lot of signings. I thought they'd made a couple more than that. And in honesty, looking at that, I do worry for Brentford a little bit. They spent 24 million, and they've brought in 24 million by selling. No, they haven't. Sorry, they haven't spent any money on transfers. Dalsgaard has gone to Midtjylland. Luke Daniels has gone to Middlesbrough. Marcondes has gone to Bournemouth. All on free transfers. So, on paper, I do worry a little bit about Brentford. I don't know a lot of their players. I enjoyed watching last season. I know they got the lad who used to be at Leeds. He's in central defence, isn't he? I forget his name on top of my head. Let's have a quick look at their squad, because I know they've got some very good players in there. I enjoyed watching them the odd time last season. So let me have a little gander. Okay, so Brentford, Pontus Janssen, that's the lad whose name I could not bloody remember, like a fool. David Raya as well, the goalkeeper. I know Arsenal, or David Raya, I know Arsenal were after him last season, I believe. Rico Henry, of course. Ethan Pinnock, yep. Genvia, I've heard of him. Who else have we got? Norsgaard, of course, bloody hell. They've got a few Scandinavians in, haven't they? Matthias Jensen as well, of course. Josh De Silva. I apologise for forgetting these lads. I feel like a right fool. Fosu Henry. Shandon Baptiste. Vitaly Janelt. Or Janelt. Forwards, Sergi Canos, of course. Marcus Force. Ivan Toney. Castillo. So I'm not. My prediction, because I hadn't actually looked at the transfers they've made, so my prediction might be a little bit hopeful for Brentford. I hope it's not. I really do hope this is where Brentford can reach in the league. So wait there. I have put Brentford as high as 12th at the end of this season, and I hope I'm right, because I'd love to see them stay in the Premier League. Ideally, I think they need some Premier League experience. I remember there's one or two players at Sheffield United or Fulham who was obviously in the Premier League last season and might have brought them a little bit of experience that they might miss. Because I don't know how many of these Brentford players have played in the Premier League. I don't think any of them off the top of my head. But they're going the way they're going. I don't think it would hurt them to get a couple of players in from recently relegated teams, a West Brom maybe, or a like I said, Southampton, Sheffield United, Fulham, teams who maybe need to sell on a couple of players. Even like a Billing from Bournemouth. I know he's linked with Norwich. I think Brentford could benefit from doing one of those, a deal like that. Because in the Premier League you cannot buy, well, you can buy experience goals, you can, that's stupid of me, but it doesn't come for free. Right, next, unless you get on a free transfer, of course. Next we're going to cover 4 more teams. Let's have a look who they are. I keep missing letters out of my bloody words like a fool. And then we're going to use a particular colour for the last team. There we go. Now, I'm going to go through my current predictions with you, so you know where we stand as it is right now. The teams we've covered. I have Watford in 20th, Norwich 19th, Palace 18th, Southampton 16th, Burnley 15th, Wolves 14th. Then we go to Brentford in 12th, Leeds in 11th, Everton 10th, West Ham 9th, Villa 8th, Arsenal 7th, Spurs 6th, Leicester 5th, Liverpool 4th, Chelsea 3rd. Now, I'm going to confirm all these in our last video on Friday, but at the minute I have Chelsea in 3rd, okay? You heard it here first. Right. Let's have a little look at Brighton and what deals they have done. They've actually signed somebody this morning. He's gone past on Sky Sports News as I watch it. They've brought in a Japanese lad who I've never heard of. Let's have a look. Brighton had signed Japan international Karu Mitoma from Kawasaki Frontale on a 4-year contract. Now, whether that is to get into the Japanese market or if that is a deal they are actually wanting to do, I don't know. Maybe he's just a good footballer. Okay. So, Brighton's transfer dealings are they've brought in Mwepo, flipping it from RB Salzburg. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Let's go make a cup of tea for somebody. Okay, so next we move on to. Actually, we haven't even covered Brighton, have we? My bad. Okay. We're going to have a little look at the Brighton signings. Apologies, guys, I got a bit sidetracked. So, from RB Salzburg, they've signed Mwepo for just short of 21 million. From Ajax for 4.5, they've signed Sherpen, never heard of him. And apart from that, and this Japanese lad, they haven't made any other deals. They have had a lot of players return from loan deals. Obviously, let's have a look. One of the main things with Brighton is that they sold Ben White for 50 million to Arsenal. Now, Brighton have been in the Premier League for a lot of years now. I don't know how many years, 5 or 6 years, give or take. And their main stalwart, so to speak, in defence has always been Lewis Dunk. Don't forget, Ben White only had 1 season in the Premier League with Brighton. Before him, it was Lewis Dunk and Duffy, who went to Celtic last season and had an awful time. Webster, who's just signed a new deal. He's also a centre back. So I think they'll be strong enough in defence without Ben White. Don't get me wrong, he's a very good defender, but not to the point where they're going to miss him too much. Matt Ryan has left on a free for Real Sociedad. Johan Batch has left and gone to Feyenoord for less than $1 million. They paid like 11 million for him. Davy Proper has gone to PSV on a free. Bernardo, the right back I believe, has gone to RB Salzburg. And Escudero has been released. So they have brought in 54 million, and they have spent 25 million. So although on paper that looks good, I'm not going to write down the names of the players they've signed because literally, what's the point? It's two players I've never heard of. I think they'll stay up. Let me have a look at my prediction for Brighton. I'm just surprised. I mean, they've got it, so they get their Premier League money every season. Brighton do, as all the teams do. The money they have spent compared to the money they've brought in means they have 30 million sitting there free. Just extra money. That's on top of their Premier League money, and yet they haven't brought in anyone, which is a bit of a shock to me. So Brighton, I have finishing. I might even change this, but for now, I think with what's his name, the manager. Oh, sorry guys. What's his name now? The Brighton manager. My mind is literally just gone completely blank. Not the Watford, the Brighton manager. I'm flipping it. I'm all over the shop. Let's have a look. Of course, how the hell could I forget? It's Harry Potter's dad, Graham Potter. No, I'm only joking. Graham Potter is the manager of Brighton. And a very solid manager he is. I am surprised he's not pushed for any more deals. Apparently he turned down Tottenham before they appointed Nuno Espirito Santo. Maybe he thought he'd get in more players, I don't bloody know. But the position I have Brighton finishing as it is right now is 13th, so a nice steady finish for Brighton, and that is only because they've only lost one major player in Ben White. I think they need another striker. Danny Welbeck I think is injured at the minute. Neil Maupay doesn't score enough. What's his name? The midfielder, former Liverpool, and Adam Lallana. He's alright, he does okay for them. I really like Leandro Trossard, the Belgian lad. Surprised he's not been linked with a move this season, maybe to a Villa or even a West Ham, which I think both would be a step up from Brighton. But yeah, I really like Trossard. I think it's important that they still have Lewis Dunk there, along with their keeper Sanchez, who had a very good season last season and is in one of my fantasy football teams. Right, we're going to leave Man City to the end, because one of Man City and Man United I have in first and one I have in second place. We're going to talk about Newcastle. Newcastle. Okay, so Newcastle haven't done a great deal of business, but what they have done is spend 25 million smackaroonies on one player. Oh, wait there. Just highlight Ben White for the Brighton bit. Yes, Eddie Nketiah, Joe Willock. Oh bloody hell! I was talking to my mate yesterday about this lad, the one who went to West Brom. He was like a regular in the Arsenal team for quite a while. I thought he was a really good player. Let me look at his name. Arsenal squad. I'm gonna kick myself for forgetting his name as well now, because it should be there around the tip of my tongue. Where you hiding, mate? Christ. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Right there we go. Yes, Ainsley Maitland-Niles is another one that they are apparently looking to move on. So they're giving these lads a little bit of game time. And then they are... Sorry, I just got distracted then with a headline on my note after Luka Jovic from Real Madrid. I doubt that's actually happening. Yes, at Newcastle brought in Joe Willock last season on loan, and in 14 games he scored 8 goals. Fantastic, absolutely brilliant. Why then Arsenal would sell him, I don't really understand. What I'm thinking has happened is Roma wanted Xhaka and weren't prepared to pay the fee that Arsenal wanted. That they wouldn't agree to that amount of money. So they, Arsenal, being they, have looked at it and said, we still need to bring in some money if we want to make another transfer. Let's try and squeeze some money out of Newcastle for Joe Willock, who Newcastle wanted on loan again. So that is the deal that has happened. And he will actually be the first transfer Newcastle have made in this window, and then we wonder why the Newcastle fans get fed up. So Christian Atsu has left, he's gone on a free. Muto has been released, he did brilliant, didn't he? Lejeune has gone back to Alaves, I believe. Andy Carroll has been released, and the lad, I think it's Henri Salvet, he's been released as well from Newcastle. So at the minute, because this deal hasn't gone through for Joe Willock, they've currently spent not a penny. Not great business really, is it, for Newcastle fans, the poor sods. They were being linked with Southampton, I believe they've agreed to deal with Blackburn. Newcastle have a 40% sell-on fee in the Adam Armstrong deal. They sold him for less than 2 million. If Blackburn get 20 million, then Newcastle will get, what, £8 million of that money. But for Newcastle, who struggle all the time to sign strikers, I mean, they've got Callum Wilson, who, now he's back fit, they'll hope will be decent for them. But apart from Callum Wilson, it's hard to see where their goals are going to come from. Yes, they have Ryan Fraser, but he don't really get enough goals. John Joe Shelf is still in there. You got the two brothers, whose name escapes me at the minute. You have oh bloody hell, the South American bloke. Again, my mind has gone bloody blank here. Callum Wilson will be hoping to get maybe 15 to 20 goals. I think that might be pushing it, because to get that you need some creativity. One player I do really like at Newcastle is Maximin, and I'm surprised he's not been linked with moves to Arsenal, maybe, because I think it'd definitely be a step up from Willian, who is currently there. I've left no room for Man City, so I'm going to do Man City Man Head on a separate page. Very frustrating. Yes, Sam Maximin, very good player in my opinion. What I was saying, at Newcastle, they can't buy a goal scorer apart from Wilson, yet Southampton and bringing him to replace Danny Ings. So it's not as though Newcastle have not had very good strikers, they just have to give these young players the opportunity to become very good players for them. They seem to have been of the mindset that if you're not going to do it right now, they were going to sell you for next to nothing in the hope that you'll become good and we can make some money off you when you move from club to club. So yeah, Joe Willock, if he comes in, I think it's a lot of money for a young lad who only had 14 Premier League games last season for Newcastle. Yes, he scored 8 goals, he was fantastic. But at 25 million quid, that's quite a lot of money when they haven't spent anything on anyone else. My prediction for Newcastle is, let's have a look, and Newcastle. Okay, so I did explain when I talked about Crystal Palace that the two positions could swap. They're the only two teams I wasn't confident on in where they might finish. So I've got Newcastle in 17th. I have Palace in 18th. But I said those two teams could swap. I expect one of Newcastle or Crystal Palace to go down this season, along with Watford and Norwich. I don't need a separate page now for Man City and Man United. Okay, so blue for Man City. Red for Manchester United. Okay, so City have brought in Jack Grealish. Man United have brought in Jadon Sancho. Raphael Varane. Okay, admittedly I'm not getting excited over the fact that we have re-signed Tom Heaton, but I think, it won't be a bad deal. It's a third choice backup. I think Lee Grant's going to be released, I believe, and Romero's leaving, so he'll be third choice behind Henderson and De Gea. United haven't brought in anybody else. They have Diego Dalot back from his loan at AC Milan. A deal can be done, so he's back with Man United. Scored on the weekend. Andres Pereira, they can't get a deal done for him either. Chong has gone to Birmingham on loan. Palestri has gone to Alaves on loan. Tuanzebe's gone to Villa on loan. Sergio Romero, apparently he's currently without a club. That's crazy, I know he's signed up. Sergio Romero, as it stands, who I believe is one of the best backup keepers in the Premier League of the last few seasons. Man City have brought in Grealish. They've signed Scott Carson on a free transfer. Other than that, who's gone out of Man City? Angelino has gone to Leipzig for 16 million. Jack Harrison's gone to Leeds for 11.5 million. Nemecha has gone to Wolfsburg for 7.2 million. Aguero has left. We need to write this down here. Now, I don't think they'll miss Sergio Aguero all that much, obviously, because he has hardly played in the last 18 months. He's played only a handful of games, I believe. So they won't miss Aguero too much. Whereas if he was at the height of his powers and scoring every other game or every game, then they'd had to adjust to having no Sergio Aguero in their team. Eric Garcia is left on a free to Barcelona, though they haven't been able to register him yet. And that is all the ones you'll know of. So Man City have brought in 35 million, and they have spent 105 million. So a deficit of just short of 71 million at the minute for Man City. Man United have brought in, well, they've spent 76.5 million. That is without the deal for Varane. He's not confirmed yet for Man United, but we know it's got to happen. And they haven't made any money on any transfers out. Man United haven't. That's not to say there won't be deals happening between, well, from these two clubs. Man United have been linked with Kieran Trippier, who I think would be a great backup to Wan-Bissaka. There's a report saying today United are going to end their interest in Trippier. I think that'd be a mistake. There's also talks of Anthony Martial moving to Inter Milan for 50 million. I think that'd be a brilliant deal for United if you can get anything over 40 million for Martial. That is a good deal. As I said, Tuanzebe has already left. I think also this talk of Jesse Lingard being linked with Leicester if James Maddison goes to Arsenal. Then Jesse Lingard is being linked with a move to Leicester as a replacement. I don't think United will sign a striker in this window. They've got Cavani signed up for another season. I think they'll wait till the end of the season and push all out for either Harry Kane if he's still at Spurs or Erling Haaland. And I think they'll get one or the other at Man United next season. Varane obviously makes Man United's defence that much stronger. Situation. We like to switch, or Ollie likes to switch between De Gea and Henderson. I don't believe either are as good as Alisson or Edison, or potentially even Mendy at Chelsea, who's a good defensive for himself. Maybe that makes him look better than he is. What I would like to see Man United go for Jan Oblak at Atletico Madrid. They obviously want to spend that sort of money on a goalkeeper. I like the way they're doing things at the minute. United sorted out the right back situation last season with Wan-Bissaka, or the season before. Sorted out the centre backs with Varane coming in, attack with Sancho. I think the next window will see us sign a striker and a midfielder. There is talk after a midfielder now. I don't see that coming to anything though. And then I think we'll look at getting a goalkeeper. Potentially if Henderson doesn't work out, because I don't think he's good enough to win us a Premier League at the minute. But with Varane being there, you never know, that might change things. Now, let's have a little look at Man City. Are continuously being linked with a move for Barry Payne. Now, obviously, Harry Kane. Will this deal go ahead? I don't know. Tottenham want 160 million. Man City want to pay 100 million. There is no way on earth, if you're paying 100 million for Jack Grealish, there is no way you are getting Harry Kane for the same amount. Harry Kane scores 30 goals a season. Jack Grealish doesn't. Goals win you games. Simple as. Tottenham want the 160 for Kane to replace Aguero. Aguero left on a free, so it's not like they got in 80 to 90 million for a striker and then just had 70 million to sign Kane. honestly thought when he left Barcelona, I said straight away he's going up at Man City. Harry Kane's going to be stuck at Tottenham and looking like a fool. Obviously, since then he's come out that PSG are the likely destination for Messi. They can afford him, and it won't cause them any trouble financially with FIFA or UEFA or whoever. If Man City get Kane, then they win the league and probably the Champions League. If they don't get Harry Kane, then obviously their defence is ridiculous with Diaz in there. Laporte apparently wants to leave. John Stones played brilliant all last season. Kyle Walker, Cancelo, Edison in goal. So a very good defence. Then their midfield is ridiculous. There's players being linked with moves though. Bernardo Silva being one of them. Sterling is still discussing a new deal. On paper, I don't think they have enough goals in their team. Of course they do. I mean, they won the league last season without Aguero being in there regular, of course. But maybe, just maybe, they don't have enough attacking wise without a striker, just possibly. I could be wrong on this, of course. But anyway, my prediction is Man United second. This was my prediction from the other day. I'm going to confirm this on Friday with a revised list, depending on what happens in the next couple of days. I've gone with Man City first. Again, this could change depending on what happens in the next couple of days. Transfer wise, my whole table might actually change in the next couple of days. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this very long prediction video. Apologies that it's been so long. Hopefully you've watched over a couple of days and not missed anything. So take it easy guys, I'll see you all again very soon.